Hey, what's good, everyone? It's V Marie, also known as your girl V92. Just wanted to come to you guys with another good video today. It's not going to really be a video that I normally make. It's not going to be on a topic I usually talk about. But it's going to be on a topic that I wanted to share. And just something that it was kind of an epiphany to me. Recently I was on LinkedIn, and sometimes LinkedIn has features and articles of different people who they share their experiences in the field of work that they do, whether it be in the IT industry, the health care industry, anything like that. And they share different tips and tricks on how it worked for them. But recently I came across this article on how a broke trip to Aldi changed my life. Now, this guy, his name is Robbie Abed, and you could tell he's Middle Eastern, from where I don't know, but I'm gonna read it to you guys. And the name of this video is gonna be called "They Are in Survival Mode." And what I mean by they, I mean by whites, Hispanic, anybody who ain't black. They are in survival mode, and it's basically survival of the fittest at this very moment. They're willing to take every resource that they can get so that they can become successful for their families ahead. Let me read this to you guys. Okay. Starts out as, I was shopping at Aldi as a college student, and I only had a few dollars to my name. I had to take a few things out of my box because I didn't have enough to buy everything I wanted. I was in between paychecks. I literally had less than $10 to my name when I was buying groceries. I was broke. I still remember exactly how I felt on the way back to my apartment. I was quiet and deep in my thoughts. It was the first time I thought to myself that I would never let this happen again. I would never let myself get to the point where I had to make life decisions in line at a discount grocery store. It was a sickening feeling I could feel deep in my stomach. Yes, I could have asked my parents for more money, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. I had convinced myself that I was going to be completely independent and I would do it all by myself. I had no choice. I never wanted to feel that way ever again. I wasn't going to let myself down, and I wasn't going to let my parents down. I needed to help them, not the other way around. So what was the solution to make sure I was never broke again? The answer was clear: work my ass off 24/7. I needed to work more because working more equaled more money equaled rent payments, food, and tuition payments. I needed more money to be independent. I couldn't rely on anyone but myself. I only thought 1 to 2 months ahead. I didn't think where I would be in 2 to 4 years from now. From then. I wasn't smart enough to do that. I was in survival mode, not where do I see myself in 5 years mode. I started applying everywhere on campus. Within 3 months, I had 3 different jobs and was working 30 to 35 hours a week in addition to attending school full time. I woke up at 8 a.m. and usually got home around 11 p.m. These were all standard office and student IT jobs. Answer phones, fix printers, do your homework when you have nothing else to do. My third job was working at a small ethnic grocery store. My plan worked. My next step was to find a great career in the IT industry. When I graduated, I found myself in the same predicament as before. I was an average student with no connections to the corporate world. I knew no one who could open doors for me. I had to find a way to do it myself. I didn't really have any strategies to landing an awesome career. Scratch that. I had one strategy: work my ass off. Cast a wide net and something has to hit. That was my strategy. I went to every job fair, and this is what stuck out for me. Even if the job fair was just for women, or for African Americans. That kind of stuck out to me when I was reading this article. So you mean to tell me an Arab boy, a Middle Eastern boy, can't find work and connections with his own people, but they're willing to scrummage and take whatever resources from African American black people just so that they can survive? Their mindset is, if African American people aren't using these resources, I'm gonna take it for all that it's worth. Let me read that again. I went to every job fair, even if the job fair was just for women or for African Americans. I got weird looks, but I didn't care. The recruiter still talked to me. All I wanted was FaceTime. I sent follow-up emails and applied for every internship and job that I could. It was the only way I knew how. It worked. It had to work. There was no other way it can go. The payoff. I joined a group at Purdue called Minority Peer Counselors, MPC. Now, minority, when you think of minorities, you would think, everybody. No. Minorities meaning Hispanic, Asian, and other. Your black ass is not welcomed. So, let me continue. By senior year, I was the director of the organization. We called high school seniors to let them know they had been accepted into Purdue University and would answer any questions they had. About 90% of the time, it was just a high school student screaming in excitement and on the other end of the phone because we called them before they received their official acceptance letter. There I met a wonderful woman named Antonia Manguia, who was an associate director of admissions and was responsible for this group. She was one of the very first people who I met and who actually cared about me and wanted me to succeed. Senior year, I was heads down applying and interviewing. I had 2 internships under my belt, including one with Dell, which was one of the hottest companies at the time. A big job fair was coming up. Tony asked me if I wanted to help a recruiter at Accenture set up informational sessions the day before the job fair. My response was, Accenture, never heard of the company, but sure. I think they do consulting, and I'm not really sure what a consultant does, but I will definitely be there. I called off of work and arrived the next day to help the recruiter. This connection gave me an opportunity to meet the recruiter before the job fair. I still went to the job fair and asked to speak specifically to her. I said hello again, and she made sure to get me an interview. I was ecstatic. I became obsessed with the company I didn't know existed 2 days prior. I pulled out all the big guns. I brought in 5 letters of recommendation specifically tailored for Accenture to my first interview. Yes, that's right, 5. Every job I ever worked at, plus the entire Purdue admissions office, signed a recommendation letter. It's safe to say that I wasn't messing around. I had no choice. I had to make this happen. I didn't just want this job, I needed this job. It turned out Accenture was looking for technology graduates who didn't mind working until 7 p.m. every workday. I was a perfect fit and I got an offer. I had 19 first-round interviews with other companies and ended with 4 job offers. That's right, 15 rejections if you're counting. Now, if this were somebody black, do you think that the same turnaround would have happened for them? Hell no. First of all, ain't no black person in the IT industry, and I'm just being real, I'm not trying to be negative. There's no African American or black person that's going to be receiving 19 first round interviews. They'll be lucky to get 3. I made this video because it's like every other day I'm out and about, it just gets more clear and more clear. Other races of people are out for survival. Black folks are out just to live another day. I'm gonna stop that right here, and y'all tell me what you think. I want to hear some feedback from this. I actually will try to post this in the description box so you guys can check it out for yourselves. All right, out.